se epono ene mpontre. The Torchlight Unity Ewo Nix 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Unity Ewo Nix 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Unity Ewo Nix 100.9. What's yet the Torchlight Jumedi 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 Ewo Nix 100.9.
Jemo akwa be de be need 100.9 jumedie ye friend Torchlight. When it was an drew a year a benadane ya wada biana. Yetena se wo ye my Ghana. Na yetena se nwumre ni sei na obia yedin. Obia hwe se Torchlight na fine ye de behwe. Na oman no ye wutokoro bi da baabi a wanhwa na wonan akwa akogurem. Eti ye de Torchlight na ba beto wono mu se hande kane ada ho. Na wonim sa wonam anadwo na uhu Torchlight bi se totope ebu ana ye ma hye se ye yanom ya na se eposifo meme na anadwo every 11 ekono ututoma upie baabi on se torch bi ato akwa mu se torch ya tu de yanom ya na kwamukafo ana se eposifo edi aganya me odem na approach na to ka ne na uhu reflectors ne ade na zo we de eposifo na with the positive. But what took any na won said who reflectors in ye who barrier be our ho. Ono so nya baby a bia wonam kwan no so no say positive for ta dirigina. I am hyehyaba. But ye dey Torchlight dey ye to a na ye bisa se ede na ekoso e wo ye my Ghana mu. Ede na ekoso e na ye ntimente ye ho ase e te se ye timete ye ho ase. Eti ya manyosem amanya semina na enye sede dada ya dwin no NDC MPP Kofi Akpaluwa debi amanyo semina ye yo oman no eti anda de bia meka se ye kan sem a ye de yo oman no esam ye de chechero oman na ye friend amanyo ene ye friend amanyo sem eti na ya tena se na in fact ye bedi nkomo am a special guest a woman chain a comprehensively ye ba bedi nkomo ye bedi koma fa omen yamanyo sem ho ye ba bedi koma dia fa omen ye policy posi asoye no ene ye bedi mu nkomo ye bedi mu nkomo e dia fa ye bambo mu nsem e fa elections a eda yenim ye were 25 days is it 25 or 24 ye were 25 days ene date na eye ene 12 good eti ye 25 days ahead of us. Preparations are bambo for no aye. IGP Amay Assurance say a security task force a wamba beche yabatu iso no wama buomu huye papa. Eti ya na yababe ya analysis no na ya hwe se oman no yeduru abatu afe na aya na bambo mu nsemete sen na se oman Ghana ye crime rate in the crowd at say ekosoro na eba form. Where are we heading towards, especially say ye wura eya abatu afimo aya na edu abatu afina say bebre hu say na enya say wo bekọ ma obi a wo me decorate ho wo me de Xmas colors asha say decorate ya na nka won say de hu say buronya bi ba o because abatu afibia na obi a dwen na abatu etia na no ma aholte e wo system ni mu enti ama buronya ne kwa ye nhye dan kan ho asem papa bia because abatu eda yenim abatu eda yenim no so say ebedi buronya na yede ni yi a say yebenya asumdwei na yetimidi ato aba na ede mfasode ede abrayen eti gwenum nyina ne nkomodi a na nwumrei sa wukọ Facebook live a obenwu me special guest a ene otemanim wadi post pen na oyobi nso a kire se make an say oye dynamic person ensem bebre kura be wo for no later court kura san jano na okan sam no so said etie na yana ba bedi komo dia fa my Ghana ho oko Facebook live ye neat 100.9 FM neat 100.9 FM ɛhɔ na me read comments ni nyinaa free eti wo kɔ ɛyɛ Facebook live a ɛhɔ ɛna wɔ comment bi a wo de to a mekenkan ɛde free NIT 100.9 FM on the Facebook live na we follow your komodie no na nso wa share ɛde ama for YouTube channel na ɛkɔ ne Despite Media no ne YouTube channel Despite Media mede de Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN medo bibia se waka me ho na yede dwumadie yede brew enanwumre ewo NIT 100.9 Torchlight dwumadie som mede aseda bema IK champion endo kokroko Francis bedo omase na mede aseda ma be boss Kwasi Aboagye the darling boy be supervisor no Dr. Father Dexter na executive producer the general manager Kennedy Asante OSEI wo me de Bobby Chidom engineer Sachu Agbo na Jare na Aboagye monso bedamase na beda eye won so a wutie me mo a mo hwe wo YouTube and Facebook and then yumre yedamase so much mafidie no na mo de ato wa na ye the Torchlight ye the airbrow and my special guest on the show your friend ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo edino minim se maboni yi ana se ana ye ta crucified din because ye ne ma me ne papa tu ni din na ye mu bi ni ye ni ho enti de ebeto ye ne nso ye ka bi enti ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo oben ka se mo akwa
that's it why are the body ni kama
oh my body ni kama oh fine and some me to me abo
but din anka say
Agojo oh okay Agojo okay and as a chance
you can say try jabia say diana sa kube din bi ne friend
kube tuya
edin pa
edin
as I say kube
okay
but nidin was side dua
okay I'll find out okay
omotai pie it's no omotai pie side dua no
okay
and no de aye roofing crampo
oh okay wait in fact mehu sakobe no
all right
adobe ebi kra friend adobe ebi friend adobe and
mehu
yeah
because of the touch building now
yes one more use
yeah near time son area yeah time son area because son area untimi no sparkles
yeah
and your friend
Agojo as a chere oh yeah I say eja kanwa
untimi endum
no and then you are going to sparkle on Torchlight.
Well, that's what I've been doing all my life.
Now no I'm just saying
hey,
live after police service and it is saying you two of us police ni dia dachi bi oro atade aba be civilian live after police service baby akodru ya nyame boa o ekodru o service ni mo and ewuti fie as a retired police officer it is saying
life after service is good for me it's been very good
okay
and I whom is here so I will be catch us me call retirement
because you are too young.
By the grace of God I have health on my side and I have the things that will make me happy.
Oh,
my family is doing very well and I'm very fine.
Sir?
Yes, I'm very fine and I've prepared myself and by the grace of God I'm doing some teaching here and there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Yes.
Na ayana it's saying because usually no na naka musi amoye experienced person maybe one person na me advocate teacher ni call retirement ani ejano police ni call retirement ani ejano central ni call be call retirement ani ya to na jeje mo aso o man na safo no ni ba call retirement yan yu omo hu biem but rather I have the belief send ya na ekoso aman akodu obi so no safo no kra na ebo eye aman no ho ban especially security per se o ma akwa retirement ni o man na engage wo mo na egusuwa na utilize wo mo experience bi a na ye tapo na de bu my education policy bi na eba retired teachers na yakọ mo ho bambo mu sam bi na eba na yakọ retired military officers retired police officers aviation won sensem retirees it was na no answer mo to was ye na yato mo jeje mo. What thoughts on that here?
It's a very good idea, say. Nka uko retirement. experiences no because we share. Usually in some countries no you become mentors. Okay?
Yeah.
Ebinum so lecturer there wo police school for instance. A bit my basic school or academy or the college or anywhere. First no na sadie no mutaye.
Yeah.
Say no ma asisa kakra. Nti em say we will delve into that one.
Oh no, yeah.
There's no way with my experience with my educational background ni no na me try there wo outside the country at various police academies you know. Nka mebe fie metena ho a me try there wo other places but me try there wo police academy. Are you getting it?
Okay.
So that kind of thing, no. It must be a policy. It should not be something like Becca say. Nipa na or leader no anybody decided. But it should be a policy say.
I will be a banner go follow the sea.
Yes, it should be a policy say at certain level with certain qualification with certain background. No, say nka oba mo na mo be kire nkorana die ana say other police senior officers na die. And then nanka mo mentor or mo na mo you get involved in some activities but also depending on the leadership because minim say no na e course at first but see no me ntimi encourage say course.
Okay, you better be inside adentina enkoso but now yansha ACP Agojo briefly yet wonka Emri bi atwam yese enkrofo bi plan say won ba be yeku yeti wudin ewom yetete yakra say na platform bi ne yedo kan unti ene wo kra na obi create platform na odo ko kan kra na yam hyehyew yesa wo silent na wo so na wo hwe de eko briefly what happened until say afi court akwete wo mo discharge you say boni bi ene what happened
Jerry the America was asem no ni say
Pajan wa get closer to the microphone
intro bi na amanfo bi etwagu me so na de na omo start ye nyina no na me nim say enkosi ba bia enti say wo hwe a na me confidence level it was very high because I knew
nim say wonye bibia
nim say me nye bibia. So right from the beginning, a man for said me kokota, me raising me tamp, I knew what I was doing. I knew that there was no way any court, any serious court in this country could jail me. Just be a kangaroo court. Just be a kangaroo court because na me nim di omo ye, and I mean baby asem free, and I mean nim the no mo pese omo chere. Enti at the end of the day, na me nsuro. Minim say, I'll go out free. And now me catch them Crawford say, as to how the case was going to end, no, na me nim say nkosi baby. But I didn't know when it was going to end. So I was just patiently waiting for the day that the court will say you are acquitted and discharged. And that's what happened. Me joining platform. Platform na me joining ye no. Enya me nko na me joining ye. Na lawyer for platform so na engineers was so na professors was so na police for was so na military officers was so na all kinds shade of opinions was so or careers was so na the entire omo form platform na me bisa ya omo de ma me no say they were doing humanitarian outreach programs and a medical outreach program before me joining here no makoye bi wo Upper West region, Eastern region, Volta region,
and
Western
who
region.
are those involved?
They were paying money and supporting the medical outreach program of Dr. McPam.
Oh.
A same way I say people have until I'm actually go me book yimu.
Yeah.
Said the beya will be over 500 pages. Now, somehow I paid 2,000 towards Agbogbolochi outreach program. Now me catch on they say a man for $dollars just to support the program. A man for $dollars just to support the program. Wow. I don't know the entire me no omo targeting me just because I'm an outspoken person. And the no correct. throughout my career in the police service. I've been very outspoken, and therefore I've had problems with the police service, and I don't have and I don't regret it. But somehow, no, I have been on other WhatsApp program platforms. I know Krampono, me din before me call IDEC program no. Na me din kura national security, any defense intelligence. Say, yeah, na me can't say be say I was not loyal to the president. I mean, what kind of I had been targeted until once I spoke at IDEC and expressed my opinion on the amendment of the constitution. Then no say police council no cry the nkayengunu ni enya no police commission. Then no people became offended. Until once they saw my name on that platform, they decided to fabricate stories. Me catch on say some stories na no more count about me nyina na ye ntro. Na no mu nim so say ye ntro. Enti to cut a long story short, no, okay, say me lawyer Martin Pebu can say, Attorney General, can say, asem no kra me nka ho, no mo sheda no mo di me din ka ho. Na me gina ho and Attorney General can say asem no. Na me lawyer e gina ho, ansa na Attorney General can say asem no. E ba ne say no can say asem no. Ni nyina ma chiro egu me book yi mu obi a we interested bia unyasa book na you understand the circumstances under which that happened.
Now, meba botainti a which was our book. Now, okay, bibi say nipa bi eni twa ntro de to so.
Yes.
Nipa ben ya na wo mo e de no person ma achieve.
Ubi sami ha. Me you are no in one sentence say some people orchestrated and fabricated this whole thing to make themselves relevant in the security architecture. Now, Mesa can who say, "So, pese, who the truth or about what I have said? What do you bisa who say, or go and find out, or more key witnesses in this case, you know, more fabricated that sorry, you know, he found more was here. Yet your mashi shebe binu more. When you do your investigation, Mark Jerry, you realize say the main actors in this case have been properly placed by the state. Some of them, a bit were USCCR, they've been given appointments.
One may try and try to
yes, I know many. I'm saying that they did all that.
One more your politically exposed persons.
Well, they are not politically exposed persons. They are military intelligence people.
Hey,
I'm telling you,
military intelligence people
and and BNI people. Then BNI, they are part of it. And I'm telling you this, and they know what I'm saying is true. Go and find out where they are. Some of them even left the military, and they have been appointed ambassadors. They did this to make themselves relevant, and that's what they do.
Just to gain appointment.
Just to gain
favors.
Just to gain favors. I'm speaking about myself for now, and that's how come up till now, till now, they don't have any iota. No iota of shred of evidence against me, but they just fabricated to the point say Attorney General himself was part of the scheme. That is why Emrana Jakpa Semi because all the I mintina the cause himself.
Attorney General can't be an
or can be no can be anya na mama instance or no can say me can ho be o mo sheda na mo di maka. I've dared him about this. And you know, the minister for defense so can Niti so can
Dominic Niti.
Yes, Attorney General Dominic Niti who together with others they did this thing to me.
And how did you validate? But the say woman yes sir. Attorney General the Ocean court.
Niti will not mean platform so was a platform so I a friend alert with Adam Bona. And I've been very critical with my comments and other things. One day, me post still comments and I'll catch them say I was off the line and that he was going to bring me to order. Soon after that, and I'm inviting me to BNI. Until whom do I say? We see, you threatened that you were going to bring me to order. And soon after that, the BNI. My brother, this is not an assumption. I'm telling you something factual. It is not an assumption. I'm saying that I made comments on a platform, an open platform on which we had the Minister of Interior, Minister for Defense, political actors, and police officers, and even the current IGP. Platform. So, and son, I mean, we make his comment, and it was an opinion we were sharing. What is here about critical issues on security and other things, and not threaten me. Into what threaten me we are now in the entire metima catch runs. I said, I have dared him to sue me. He has not been able to do it. I've dared him. Said the American say, no cry. But your person would be and that was in January. That was in January. This year. And I'm a cancer same way. And I've continued to say it. Now let me tell you another reason why he was the one. When him say the investigation about me started from Defense Intelligence, not BNI. Yeah, BNI for starting investigating me. The investigation about me was from Defense Intelligence and son Omode Bre BNI and NI before. Until Samikachi said the defense minister was part of it. He cannot say he was not part of it. Because if he does it, I'll disgrace him with evidence. And I'm telling you that it is an open platform, my friend. Alert with Adam Bonanti. Or more tie me what this radio singing Facebook platform it is an open secret. Say they know say he threatened me. And when you read the book, the evidence is even in this book.
Sir. Okay. Now, na yeni pe bi adwen say on pe president asem. Sana na wo feel.
Na eye nipa bi adwen anase wo na wo bisa.
Bibisa say na eye nipa bi adwen to your instinct. Say na wo pe president asem ana. Okay. You were so critical and when you say eye nipa bi adwen say you are critical on the government or maybe won pe president asem and rather no wo ye wadwen say wo criticize straight in no amano. Woman who say otherwise.
I criticize systems. I criticize structures. I criticize systems and I criticize structures and institutions. I criticize things that do not help us. So anybody who is in charge of that place may think that he is the one being referred to. What you say?
But now constructively, no, you are
I always constructively criticize, even up to today. And as I was trying when I even mentioned it, I even came back to tell them that look, it is better we take steps to correct these things because they will not help us as a nation. I talked even in 2019. I mentioned things like youth unemployment.
Yeah.
I mentioned things like deception by politicians, and I didn't say NPP, NDC, or CPP. Remember, I've always been very careful with my words. And so I criticize systems, institutions, structures. And I do that constructively. Now, it is only in this part of our world that when you criticize systems, people in charge of the systems think that they are the system. They tend to feel that the system, they are the system,
so
and therefore
you hate them.
You hate them. For instance, when I gave my other presentation, I talked about the overbearing nature of our presidency. I didn't say Akufo-Addo or Mahama or anybody. But at the end of the day, the people in power took it personal. And they felt that they were the ones that were being criticized. That is the problem we have in this side of our country. And we must outgrow this problem. And yes, I am calling him. That is why there is so much vindictiveness in the system. That is why there is so much all kinds of things in the system. Because they won't belong here, Krampua. Ebetimaka said, because you speak like this, you belong here. And that's not the way we rule a nation.
Sana, what's here? For how long now would you police?
Oh, for 35 years.
35 years. And you've been known, so we are too critical. And I say, just recently, you say we are critical.
Anybody who has been associated with me from my constable days, if they could call to this program and tell you, even from recruit days, Let me give you a typical. Oh yes, let me give you a typical example. When I went to recruit training, there were certain things that I refused to do. One of them is paying money to instructors. I did not do that, and I was the best recruit too. And my mates who are listening to me right now will tell you, when I came to academy here, Tesano, we have some subcultures at the place. I refuse to pay money to anybody, and I'll critique any system that I find in place. And that was the reason why I was kept at the academy to teach there, when others were posted to districts and other places. So you see, that has been my nature. And people should get used to people and their character. I am not somebody who will be so much interested in too much riches. And I am interested in making sure that things work well for all of us. And that's how my life has always been. And that is why even till today, I am here speaking. If it was something which was an event, I would have stopped by now. In policing, people do not know, and it's in this book. I have been sacked from the police before just because I have refused taking an instruction from my boss, which I considered to be unlawful instruction. And I refused to apologize. This is me. And people should understand this. And I'm not going to change.
Sign out here.
Sign out here.
And then I motivate you, I will show 500 page.
It is the same spirit in me that motivated me to put across everything that I've gone through. Said Yebeya disuadie ama Ghana for. Near Ghana for any other person who may be going through certain issues will learn from it. Another reason I'm a book say I want to provoke debate on certain things in our criminal justice system. Too often, we tend not to talk about our judges and their conduct. Yeah. I'm giving you a typical example. So I have written about the conduct even of our judges in the courtroom. The way they treated
judges
us.
In the being.
Yes, the way they treated us, the way they look down upon us, the way they talk down upon us and talk down upon other people. They are all here. This is me because I believe that certain things must change for the future and for the betterment of our children and our children's children. And I do not do this by insulting anybody. And anything that I've written here, I stand by it because it happened not in secrecy, it happened in open court.
I
wouldn't talk generally about judges, but I will talk about human beings as a whole. When we say police, to say police name, we are ACP. No salute you. We are judge. Inti lawyer for ni ba court rise ni sorry. Then we bow down. Sometimes you tend to be deceived by thinking that you are so important as an individual. You have forgotten, say, it is the authority that you represent. That is what they are paying compliments to. It is not your person. So, I am saluted because of the crown. I am saluted because of the authority. Because of the authority I willed as an assistant commissioner. We are judge because of the authority you willed. That is why we say, my Lord. But you are not Lord over anybody. What am I saying? You are not Lord over anybody, but it is the authority that you wield. And no, and I according respect. The authority of the state now will, will represent, and no, so what I can say is say, when people are in authority, they should not use it arbitrarily against people who come before them. Because one day, you will not be in that authority. We are judge, I'll be retired. Mr. Tuguba, what retire?
Yeah.
Okay. The previous judges, and a so retire or more demonstration or musica akamwa. What is here? Mr. retire as a police officer. Meaning I may need help. But if I don't carry myself very well, that help, I will never get it. That is the point I'm seeking to make in this book.
Okay. Yeah, share time and I'm for threatening. What did you do? What would take your action be? Because you felt threatened.
I felt threatened.
Oh yeah, then.
I actually complained about it to the administrators of the platform. They talked to the minister. And in United I'm catcher was say, the catcher say me with evidence and I'm with evidence. They talked to the minister. Somebody on the I don't want to mention his name here. He called the minister and talked to him, and we had a chat over it, and that chat is still part of my book. What am I saying? And see, the evidence is built. I'll catch it and say, look, this is a platform that we speak our minds on. You don't have to be intimidating people on it. And that is part of my book. And since the catcher was saying, threatening me, now he's responsible for it. I'm not telling an answer. I'm speaking the truth to you. In fact, okay, maybe I'm speaking the facts.
Fact, what say evidence?
Abba. And I nipa no so nim say me evidence no. Onimpa. Anything I since January me started cancer and say we are going to mean by forward. I expect him to take me on to court. He should not use the authority of the state against me. Because this is a civil issue between me and him. Until my uncle uses a defense minister or he's coming against me. That would be an abuse of his power and authority. He should send me to court and then we'll go and battle it in court. That's what I'm expecting him to do.
Abusia, and then Yane ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. Na or your retired police officer, no na ne. I am a special guest no aiding common. I would need 100.9. Currently, it is a book in there available, eh?
Oh, it's available.
Available this year. Okay. Currently, we share a year police service out free more. It's the same amount. So free munche all retires and chair.
Oh, me free munche, and I have my sources there. Biana Makachiro said when you live your life very well in the service, you still have your network and everything working. And inti bibi anywhere a course wa me mente. And I be biasu ni wa. For instance, meti Makachiro and see I say police phobia IGP transfer move from the deputy IGP office hall. And I say or target or more transfer or more arbitrarily, you know, without recourse to the procedures and processes in the police service. Omo the IGP are court. And they are several IGP. Because and they are several IGP. Now, the point is this. This is one IGP awaba. There's nothing like a transfer board. What you say? We now, must
at the police
at the police level, no IGP and quantity means sorry and transfer will be. What you must say? The transfer must be followed by must be preceded by a transfer board. Transfer board must sit down and propose, say, Nipa will call for this reason, for this reason, for this reason. And you know, the people are challenging the authority of the IGP. Said there was no transfer board that sat and that transfer is unlawful and therefore the court should stay it. That is the kind of police service we have today, where there is so much arbitrariness, where there is so much vindictiveness, where procedures are not followed, where one person has taken over the police and nobody else matters. That's the kind of police service we have today. This is a police service where, you know, crime statistics is no longer available. When was the last time you saw crime statistics? Very good. Because somebody has decided that when everybody is able to analyze the crime statistics, crime has gone low. This is a police service where regional commanders cannot talk any longer. Where these divisional commanders cannot talk. This is a police service where when there's a crime at Adabraka here, just a damn parent a cause say a release, police release. Otherwise, the regional commander cannot talk. This is not a police service that we inherited.
Style of administration.
That style is not backed by any scientific data anywhere in the world. That style, anybody should challenge me, say, they have this style of communication. This centralized style in communication does not help anywhere, because we are talking about community policing. We are talking about all kinds of decentralization of ideas and other things. The community is very important, and so you cannot say the police officer who is interacting with other people at the community level cannot speak to the media. Cannot speak to the media. Only one person can speak to the media, and that's the person at the headquarters. So BBC wa BBC wo Bolga, BBC wo Enchi. Just say obi antimi nkasa wo ho emiti media. But do you know the reason? Uh-huh. This is how autocrats behave. People who are autocratic, people with autocratic tendency, tend to center everything around themselves. They have to be important. Nobody else will be important. And in this Kofi Brookman Krampua, you be post so that they will say, oh, this IGP is so humble. IGP Okoto Kofi Brookman. Then the praise is always about him and not about any other person. It is also done to ensure that nobody will be able to compete with the IGP. What did they make an say? So there is a cult system in the police service where you are in trouble. He can promote you 100 times in a year. And he can lift you from a junior to a senior immediately. And he can promote you twice or 3 times in 1 year or 2 years. That is the kind of system we have. A system I also see say on obi asem na se wo associate with nipa na obe transfer we see
sana IGPT.
Sana IGPT. Asema American or has and I can give you names. There are names like AC Ajay and other people who went for a funeral with Madam Tiwa because they attended a funeral with Madam Tiwa. They have been transferred from their very to remotest part of Ghana.
Oh, sir. But how then I say transfer say a punishment in this?
So that is the problem. Transfers are routine things, and they must be informed by data and information. But this man is using it as a punishment. He's using it as a punishment. Will you believe in Pose? At a point in time, no, IGP say police nibia and WhatsApp platform for biaso. And this one was even approved by the police council. I'll come to the police council because police council the medium who ya crash too much saying IGP Nankasa. But I'll come to the
council.
The council itself. Let me just write it so that I can remember it. So IGP decides that say for instance platform bia na or no IGP Nankasa no was be. Your friend who thinkers platform. IGP was one of the original members of the platform. Now you're discussing police matters. Until we share platform now, from constable to commissioners of police, no more so. So we discuss police issues and see how we can move police forward, and we critique the system with the view. And now, among 4 IGPs, no, and he criticizing, critique, with a view to improving the service, no. Not Dampari also. Now he didn't see anything wrong with it. But on nobody IGP, no. He saw everything wrong with the platform. To a good platform. No? Until call police council, man approve and say we resisted it. And up to today, the platform is still there. And when you gave me the link, and I've sent you to the platform, and I can tell you that hundreds of people, police officers are watching that platform alone. So this is the kind of police service we have. Police service where the welfare of the people does not matter to Dampari. It is his own welfare and his own whatever he thinks. For instance, I'm a minimal example. For some time now, police personnel apply for welfare loan and they don't get it. Meanwhile, those days when very good. First, you apply electronically. Until you apply, they say I met those days. But matter I no apply. Me a catch us say okay, we see can be ready 1st January. And 1st January so be hit your account. What you must say? This time round you apply, it doesn't come. It will you wait. We are lucky and obenya. Now whatever the money has been used for, so there is lack of transparency in Dampari's administration because everything centers around him. Okay, when was the last time? Let me give you another evidence. Madam Abiba, COP Abiba, on in charge of welfare. When did she leave? She had been away from the service for more than 6 months or almost 1 year now. On appointee Obia. There are a lot of commissioners in the system, but he has only added somebody who has responsibility to take additional responsibility. People that he is comfortable to work with. Fine, I agree. But there are people with expertise that you must work with. And he doesn't want to work with any of them. So the welfare system is crying for help.
And they obi apply for
apply, yeah. People, look, you McJerry, me ne we interview here. Yeah. But Modian say only police for Bekasa. Find your own ways, and I know you people are able to do it. Find your own ways to talk to police personnel. Send your reporters to talk to police personnel, and you will see the kind of things that police people are going through. Shenshena mu who are police headquarters no. Shenshena mu who are police headquarters no. Any shenshena mu who are odibi kwakoye bus stop no. Yeah, but it should have reflected in the lives of the police personnel. It is a woody who was car would kwakoye sa bus stop no. That's a police wherever that money is coming from, I don't know. But if it is part of the welfare money, then I'm sorry. I say if. And the suspicion among police personnel is here, and they say, Omusikano, they are misusing it. Some of them are even alleging, say, it's being used to sponsor politicians so that he can remain in office. That's what they are alleging. That's what some of the police personnel are alleging. So you see, it has come to a point where the appointing authorities must put their radar on the police service. And that is where Nina Kahuna, Sedam Pari Pewasem says here. Out here, who can I say, who radio is soon as who can I say, papa, all the time, Sedam Pari is doing well. Any threat to you, he will personalize it and make sure that he gives you personal bodyguards. And I can tell you there are many communicators in our system today who have been giving personal bodyguards.
From the IGP.
From the IGP.
Because of mu praising.
Because of mu praising. Opa, police, a friend is saying, duty roster be here. And who do you know also? Who do you know also? More do you know? But you see the duty roster.
I say personal bodyguards, it's because one more praising.
That is it. When I mention the name to you, and I won't mention it for good reasons. Yeah. But you see, sometimes you don't attract the unnecessary thing with certain people. So I don't want to go there. I'm here for a purpose, and I want to accomplish that purpose. I will give you that roster. I promise I will give you the roster. Now what can I say? Every crowd you call your friend saying you call breaks is here for Yama. I am telling you that Dampari has personalized the police service in such a way with all kinds of things. Say, and then police has become something. People have sent him to court over promotions and other things. Obi superintendent, Obi assistant commissioner. Nipa na we assistant commissioner no. After 4 years no say adverse findings bi ama ho na say vacancies ni no ma wo ho a and then all kinds of things that you are supposed to be promoted. That's according to our regulations.
After 4 years.
After 4 years. Now, say promote me. Na say menye boni bia nso. Na say vacancy ba. Do you promote people who are 8 years my genius above me? No more be take his position. Let's say me salute to Sadipana. So much indiscipline in the system. Me person me body binom.
But I didn't know. Senator say.
There is somebody in the police service here, or DCOP. Tell me assistant commissioner no. Me mate for yenya assistant commissioner. Nani pano ye superintendent. Sani pano was under me. What am I say? Do you know say nka ne me wo police mo nka me salutu sani pano. This is the kind of indiscipline. And I'm coming in salute that because I will oppose it and I will tell you that you don't deserve this more than me. And therefore, I will not salute you. If you take me anywhere, we'll go and battle it. This is the kind of system that has been created in the police service. Yen can one sem and now first no. When you say any party say former IGPs be no me modin no more teach you a police academy. Ni normal because they need to give their experiences and other things to mentor. When you say Dampare has made sure say all of them will not teach there again. Senior officers, experienced ones are not much like yes. He micromanages everything until he decides who should teach at the police academy here. He decides. So no anka se who teach you ha, who teach you ho, and they do console obey year frame. This is Dampare that you people don't know. And people are you the media have packaged him to us as if he's an angel, and yet we know him better than you do. So these are some of the challenges that, and yes, Sanka Ban is saying that President appoints you be as Deputy Inspector General of Police. Now see what you go up.
Now IGP akasene to go up.
Na your actions and obia one or mobile jumacra was transfer omunina. Say microphone uncle enti wa interdict omo. Ebi no na omudina kokoti. Until your actions will indicate say what you go up. I'm basing them on his actions and inactions. Obi Timitra rank so 70 years. Every indication, he has to be promoted. Do you know, say on our senior, our list in Pono, Otimi be ye obi unse police, no, say money assistant commissioner, crana mo 10 and 20 and 30. It comes according to seniority. Unim so Otimi ko yi binu was down, promote you more soro hono wajao. Oh yes, Abra wouldn't need evidence. Look, my mate back home, you also call retirement mate my bonidin. Mr. Mevenku, for instance, or no, at Nani rank so for 7 years. 7 years, 8 years now. No, the genius abe pani who akoye DCOP. Onye boni bia, no ye senior to omo wa promote omo assistant commissioner rank no so to DCOP nyina no. Mevenku ye senior to most of them. I promote omo jana. And the interesting thing I say you and make me can baby nano me sa kan ha. Omo a oyi omo free me nyina so omo free one region. And they are Voltarians. I'm telling you, met my bobi no din akira wo. Omo adwuma no muntimi mpese me dey omo to trouble me because but if you check their records, they are from Volta region. Agojo. Dear Ben. Chese omo nyina mo ye free Volta region. If you look at the list of people he has rejected and has decided never to promote, they are from Volta region.
Mami bisa we yo educators. When it comes to promotion in police service, it is saying the system they porous because they are working and when you're 4 years, Brenda so yeah we say adverse findings behind the is against you. Then about promotion, I say you promote too. About what's sanity, if I'm right.
Yes. So, police promotion depends on it could be vacancy, special recommendation,
yes,
and good conduct. Okay. Until there are times the police, the presidency. When I say presidency, which was not the president, the presidency or the police council itself or IGP himself can give special recommendation to people.
Okay.
Those things are recognized and acceptable. But when you decide to give special recommendation to one person 3 times in a year, it becomes questionable. Said the and special recommendations should be based on solid achievement, very solid, verifiable achievement. Some of the almost all the recommendations, we don't see the solid, verifiable achievements. So, you are just promoting the person, and I don't even know the basis upon which I will only be demoralized. I may even be depressed. So I'm telling you, the police service personnel are so demoralized. Mm-hmm. They are so demoralized. So police for ewo kwan say nkomo be ewo kwan say nkomo be demonstration and kawobeti. I'm telling you frankly, because of the morale that is so low, because of the kind of
it's a morale in the police service I
am telling you that it's very low. Now you see, because you are the man has not allowed anybody to shine apart from him, anybody to speak apart from him, anybody to even so police media nibe kasa, he has to hide and only wakasa. What he has here. But that should not be the case. So promotions and special recommendations we accept. For instance, from assistant commissioner, it is the president who approves it. Recommendation can come from the IGP through the police council, but the president is the one who approves it. But say, if the IGP does not take your name there and propose you for promotion, just say be a president, now recognize you, I promote you. And I have known instances where the presidency has promoted people and brought it to the police council to finalize, maybe in consultation with the police council, and then told the IGP, yes, send these things out. We have seen it before. We have seen them before. Until say IGP can say promote you are, you are not going. Now let me come back to the police council. Until you structure be a friend of police council. Police council is chaired by the vice president.
The vice president.
And any other person that the president may. So we have seen police councils in the past. I have never seen a police council that has turned itself into a rubber stamp like this current one. I don't want to use a particular word. Yes, I can use it, but I'm saying that they are just a rubber stamp. Police council is supposed to be a policy-making body. They are supposed to guide the IGP, come out with policies that will see working. For a typical example, there will be a friend of constitutional instrument, CI 76. It was a police council that supported the IGP to come out with that policy for the welfare of personnel. And no guiding SCR. Law. These are the kinds of things we want to see. What is the current police council doing? Let this police council, I dare them on this platform, to come to tell us one policy. Our police service. They should tell us. They should tell us. Apart from rubber stamping the arbitrary and discriminating promotions of the IGP, they should come and tell us. That police council should come and tell us. The Ama police service within the past 8 years or 7.5 years or almost 8 years, they should tell us. I don't know any because I was part of it until 1 year ago. It is a that's a different thing. I have never seen a very docile police council which is only rubber stamping. Police council IGP say no. These promotions we do not accept it because we have seen the same people being promoted over 2 or 3 times. Do you know that people have even written to the police council, but there's no response. Even me, I've written to the police council, they have not responded.
Now, it's IGP in Kwabit me idea all years, sir. Without any recourse. And yet, because police management board, there were police council, there were now, IGP to my police here, they are saying about exactly what is happening. As for POMAB, I think they only exist in name. Okay, say, Mr. George Mensah, Ekan Bibi. Ebia, on say, Ebia political twist now, they can, antina amount for antina, say papa. But Mr. George Mensah said a lot of great things, including the fact, say, even POMAB members, sometimes they select you for meetings. To the extent that the POMAB members, some members of POMAB, no, and you'll be on a committee, no, because only Momoa, or no better making Comoa, Obia, Antimi, and Kashi. But people who are a bit critical, you will not call them. George Mensah said this, if you really recall, he said. Okay, I remember.
Very good. So POMAB is also a rubber stamp. And those that he's comfortable with, he works with. Now we are here, Ohana, a man for a static say, you don't see me say yo. First, now baby, Obeko be Mr. Onu. They say, Oko baby, on whom Mr. Onu. Even a mobile police, a mobile graduation and senior crowd, you know.
And the only recently a traffic BC.
That tells you the kind of person we are working with in the system.
Is it because a president are appointed into no?
He has become a threat to him.
Oh, sir.
That is it. Dampare does not entertain threat. And until you observe carefully, police form more PhD in he has sidelined them. Another information, with the information, I'll go and find out. Police form more PhD in was sidelined. That is his nature. He doesn't want any kind of. I mean, let's be real. What would you make? For instance, it's just too bad. So the police council, I think I place the blame on the doorstep of the police council as well, but much more on our constitution. Mm-hmm. When we say we have been complaining that the presidency. And I didn't say the president. I said the presidency.
The presidency,
has been made so powerful by the Constitution. By extension, institutional heads have also been made so powerful. One of them is the police and the IGP. The IGP is so powerful but that is why we have structures in place. For instance, Makacho said there must be a transfer board. But he is able to sideline the transfer board and cause transfers. They say welfare director general be
a board no a powerless
na board we hwan na IGP kasa wo ye hwan. You see, some of us when we were even in active service we challenged some of these things, except that we did not come to the radio station for you to see us until you may not have known this. But strictly speaking, it is difficult for the average senior police officer to challenge these kind of things. Edu Ebioka said, well, and now we have an attitude in Ghana. That self-preservation. Say, hey, me yana omo pam misi ya inta the team is here. Me yere me kotena here, jume bi any ho. Me yere ne memba. Enti mami amanwe. That is the attitude of the typical Ghanaian, the attitude of the average police officer, and that is why BBN or CM Manyame, and then he will keep quiet and toe the line, and then we will all suffer. And that's why we are where we are as a nation. That's why we are where we are as a police service. Because in one chapter in this book, I've written the silence of the loud. The silence of the loud. Now, I have touched on almost everybody who matters, including the Ghana Bar Association and all kinds of people. Now you see your moon come first. They say, through. They will not make any comment. They will not talk. Everybody is so quiet. So leaders are doing whatever they like.
Presidency in your way, if what you are telling us, anything to go by.
I can
because
tell you.
A president appointed the IGP. President appointed deputy IGP. President didn't make us a better now briefing. So what is happening if that is what the echoes in here?
Metimam Akachros is here say. The presidency is aware. National security is aware of what we are talking about. They know things about extrajudicial killings. They know. They know. They cannot tell. If they say they don't know, then they are not worth their positions. What is the American? The presidency is briefed at any point in time. National security means Mr. Kandapan nim the American. National security architecture they have their reasons. Authority. They have their reasons for keeping quiet because they have all this information I'm giving out. They cannot tell me that they don't know. And they cannot pretend not to know.
Especially our appointed deputy IGP. It seems deputy IGP and then the boss, I say, friction be your.
It is there. Friction is there. As a CIACRO committee now, in fact, deputy IGP does not even get any access to any information in the police services here. There is no letters that he will hardly see any letter. He only sees. I think he only goes to the office and reads. With due respect, boss, he only goes to office and reads newspapers. I can tell you that. But that's what is happening. Because I'm for be a man yet. I'm manage maybe anye. Because Dampare wants to ensure, say, the man does not become relevant. Remember, this is a man who, together with me, handled the 2016 election. If you are not
2016
aware,
elections now who headed the election task force.
Yes. Coordinated the election security task force. And I keep saying, by the grace of God, it was the most peaceful election. Not even a fly died here. I challenge anybody to say, this was what happened. No. Unlike 2020, a NIPA 8 who was a NIPA 10 was a NIPA 8 who. That was one election that nobody died. And so this man has the experience that he could use to. But on friend Umpono Ebisan and Adrian. Oko easy now who deputy.
Ambassador IGP my assurance be. The preparations, sir.
I am not saying he's not doing preparations. I am not saying that the IGP is not doing preparation towards this election. And I know that election security task force has been activated. I'm aware of that. But, you know, we would have loved to see much more than what we are seeing now. There are certain information that must be going out by now. 25 days to election. Meboa.
Yeah.
Have you been able to invite any police officer to any media station to be discussing what is expected, the preparations, what is expected of citizens in terms of security, what they should look out for, and where the fact that nobody is allowed to enter the place with knives and guns or anything, and when you vote, please just move away from the place, and then if it is time to go and count the ballots, you can. All those information are important now, not any other time. That Ben, what is that? This kind of education or any radio station, I can tell you no, because me catch us me all kinds of things, because I want to learn all the time. I have not seen any of them. I have not heard any of them. Years back, at this time, you see police officers at different radio stations educating the population about the need to avoid violence, the need to do this, the need to do how. All these things are. So if you are doing it secretly and you are not even informing, meaning say they are doing some work. I don't have the details. But so far as he's keeping it to himself alone, it means they are not doing anything. And so far as the public is not aware, even you, McJerry, you are not aware of any information from the police as to the details of. We are not saying they should tell us where they are deploying. But at least general sensitization of
consumable
members of
information.
It should go out to members of the public. Yeah. By now, we should meet the media, and the media should be briefed on what is expected and how the police are going, so that you will even help us to carry out the information out there. There are certain things Obi Befra can say no, let's say in a police.
2016 is no.
I don't know whether you were. I don't remember you very well at that time, but we invited Peace FM and all the stations, and we went out speaking to all kinds of places, all media platforms. They say, the only person who can talk is either Dampare or the one in charge of the public affairs department. And our Chroba, there's no way you can question her on anything, because there's no way you can clarify anything. And no answer, police force C, and no. It's not available for any clarification or questioning.
For further particulars.
So how are we preparing for this election? How are people from Boku and other areas going to look out for? What are they going to look out for? What are the things that what the hotspots? The media should be briefed on the hotspots so that they can help us sensitize people over there. Now, one of the challenges I have is the fact that we have National Election Security Task Force.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll see the regional commanders, any divisional commanders, more money obiankasa, media ni obiankasa. How are the regional security task force going to sensitize the media and other people? Because you are not allowing them to talk. So you see, I said it yesterday somewhere, and I'm saying it again. There's so much incompetence.
at the police service.
Yes. By the leadership.
The leadership of Ghana
yes,
police
symbolized by the IGP. So much incompetence. And Mamau, a litany of evidence of the incompetence that I'm talking about.
IGP now no problem, Biana.
I don't have a problem with him. But
and administratively, said when the normal now penasem.
You see, some of us have known him for many years now. And we are not surprised at all at what he's doing. On say, some of us have psychology background. And we have studied Nyamea Dumunti, you are studying so kakra. So when you work with somebody and the person exhibits certain attitude, and with my psychology background, I could just foretell. I'm not a prophet. I could just foretell and say, no, this person has a problem. Now, you had, and people should not pretend they did not know this is what will happen to the police service when they appoint IGP, this person. The national security had all this information before they appointed him. I am saying this on authority. Say, national security had all this information, said this person cannot be this or that or that. But they went ahead and appointed him anyway. Now, let me go back to the issues that I wanted to talk about. This is somebody who was Director General Finance. And people would travel from the regions and come on emergency issues. My catcher will say, when your appointment, you go back. As far back as that time. What am I say? So, and he was the only that
who need appointment to see him.
So he will not see you. And what I'm saying, so he could issue a rebuttal or whatever.
You mean the IGP?
IGP has done that several times to people in the police service, and they know him.
Oh, but we say being so na pressure no so. Who's a finance?
Martin.
So
he's the only person in the police service now or yes no. So you see, as far back as 2017, I stole some friends. Maybe you meet some of them. And let me be specific. I told a hunter. A hunter was his body. Ono ne kofa a hunter free. Pekini baby edin ba Accra. A hunter ba me hona me a hunter. Now ko yo so say ye di maba ICT DIG I'm say o masa no. See the make catch up that papa will be DIGP. The police service will be turned upside down. No, see, doc, papa na say we dey train. We no dey be you first. We no be the first enemy. Because I'm say we be DIGP when we interdict in the first hunter. So you see, for some of us who have known him, I don't have anything against him, but I am speaking based on, and I've worked with him as his 2IC before. And we did not have a problem. But having studied him, I knew exactly that this is what we were going to find ourselves in once he became an IGP. And that's what we are seeing.
Okay, Yane, I am ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. Na a retired police officer. Ono ne ane yene didin komono na yache sadia oman no bambo mu nsam ne ade ne ya wa ba fie sadia ohun no ama especially ye ba be call elections. Ye were 25 days on 2016 on a head or coordinate the affairs of the election security task force na e wo pretty e twa say won be manage the affairs of 2016 elections na eno ena yegu so ayedin komane ye ho de ekọ partisan politics and police service. What you saying?
So because partisanship any police must see nipa no boa, and I will not fall for that. Now the partisanship is also as a result of the kind of system we are operating. And at the circumstances a narrative amount. Se mema tena rank so under dampare for 7 years I'm promoting me. Do you think I will wish the current government well? No, I'm just asking you.
Okay.
I will not wish this current government well.
Yeah.
Now, at the time this current government mistreated me, do you think that I will wish them well? I will not wish them well.
Okay.
For all they have done against me. I will not wish them well. But coming back to the issue, say people are not receiving the best of treatment. People are being discriminated against in terms of promotion, in terms of all kinds of things. Where would they vent their anger?
Right.
Because they know the chairman of the police council, who is always approving most of the things that the IGP brings, is a particular person who is a party person. So partisanship is as a result of the kind of constitution we have by mode of appointment. Maybe I have reviewed some of the things and I may have a different idea on it today, but still, I don't think that the mode of appointment should remain the way it is today.
Yes,
because then, if we don't change it, the partisanship will continue. And we must also change it because then, and some way, judgment sako kanwo dampare ho die enye profession munnim asema ono dampare so okoka will be one son or onya IGP. You see, we have created a situation where to become an IGP you must undermine the sitting IGP so that he will go quickly for you to come. That's what we have been doing over the years, because it has become so partisan. Say okoka say ni or a partisan person or so. And as a result of it, we have an election, recruitment. All of them are partisan things we are doing. Look at the kind of the timing that they are doing this recruitment.
Yeah.
Recruitment
and 2021 for
2021 for a ban is saying adiamu year 2021 data no way. What can I say many years ago or a few years ago? Say a year recruitment, you publish it in one newspapers. Or more passing, you publish your in newspapers. Then, after a while, near frame, that means there's evidence say what pass it. Now, start 2021 list now, Monsieur a month for pass your media to one. Where was it? Who was keeping it? Until Dampare buy. Because at that time it was so Dampare. Somebody did it. And he inherited it. And as on also kakra. But at the end of the day, where from that list, say 2021 list is 1 year, a bit money be all kinds of things have happened. Some of the men have moved on with their life. They have become business entrepreneurs. They have gone to school. They are among go back to as recruits. So where from that list? So the suspicion here is that the government of the day is only using it as a ploy to recruit their own people. And therefore,
partisan
the suspicion is so high on that agenda. I have just narrated the circumstance to you. Say, you leave no room for that suspicion to happen.
Okay.
That suspicion is there because what's the circumstance now from 2021? And I didn't think I'm a new one. And where from that list? Who is able to see that list? How transparent and accountable are they to anybody? And he said, "Ned Ampare catcher say, this region, the list we cannot trust the list. Me, Ben Amiti, he mean trust this list no. Now say me trust here. Who else will trust it? The only people who may trust it are the people who are comfortable with him and comfortable with the system, and who are gaining from the system." And I'm not saying that this is the only time that, and I'm very frank with you, I'm not saying that this is the only time that such things may have happened, but this time it is too much. Maybe it's too much. Many years ago, I joined police service, no. Now, nipa na in charge of, no, CEO, Tesano Police Training School.
Training school.
Yes. Mr. Nuhubila. Ona na in charge. Ono na ono ye recruitment. Headquarters for can recruitment. Because ono na ye in charge training. Until he did the recruitment, he recruited me. Ono na travel with a team of people. Obetima select you be free headquarters. But nipa na obi anye senior to him. What he said, he was in charge. And then recruitment draw. Go and see the commissioners who are standing there. We are pretending that Ninginano is a ploy to just. I mean, we policing no. Now no baby Sam say police no. You call anyone. I say I'm saying open say who say police. You call anyone. Share treatment or more democracy hub for no. And never children me say police are call anyone.
Now democracy have no more.
Oh, that's how you are aware, say they were mistreated. You are aware, say people who were rounded up, who were not part of it, Right now, they are not able to even proceed with the prosecution because they don't have evidence against some of the people.
Yes, innocent ones.
No.
Yes, of course,
so you don't do that to people. This is the point I'm making. That's the kind of policing we are doing.
Yes, police. We have to say soup now. It covers and one shall not foul. Later near you.
I am making this statement, and those who are listening to me, I know a lot of senior police officers and police officers are listening to me. I have always taught at all levels in the police service, and I'm against police swoops.
Oh, okay.
We are always talking about intelligence-led policing. The police phone him said there will be demonstration over there on a particular day. Nothing prevents police officers who are in mufti to take charge of the area, even before day breaks. And then at the end of the day, those who are passing now big cranny phone, screenshot here, dear Wohan, I say, take pictures. I mean, and then look at the fact, say, Obi was casted into not drawing from mano. All kinds of things does not. One will say, until I say, you people have packaged deceptively packaged down parade to us, and it's becoming a problem for us.
Okay.
All right.
At the end, yes, you share. The education is say, my point, you manage a mere madam Macacudrufie, Asumjamo. Me area, me wo ayana amount for tajiji mobile phones. Obepon, there was a time, I'm upon Juma. Men be few war honor. Na moto bikers biaje, obi mobile phone na. Woman in Mishia, Wama Besame, who can later, I mean, say, one would recover. Okay, all these things here, no, maybe a young public in a way why enemies as a police young baby. But today, police patrols. 2 or 1 o'clock with your police vehicle. There was a time I traveled, maybe bedri and about 2 a.m. Make one police patrol vehicle, I costume me. Well, make sure baby, I make one more cray, you didn't make a grand over the Mabi Drew. And
this happened only during this time.
No, I'm not saying only this
very
time.
Good.
I'm not saying that at all.
Thank you very much.
Because
it is a system in place.
Yeah, time and I make call Gimpa. Now me call na say na. Where time and I make Gimpa, right? Me frin koko and I me best school or Gimpa.
Very good.
It's me bana me pon na me kwa. Commercial vehicle aye timo no. E kwan no so nyina to me say na police barrier no me ade or fleet class ade no em say sabre ni ye. This IGP me kind dey. It will be sharing police barriers no many idea e was so. It mean can say only this time.
Very good.
But they make an say ne wish I'm robbing kitten kitty be no many idea na e so no maybe no. Say ye dey no to for me you say aba for more. So is the police service not working? Sana me say be situate the argument. I don't know what it's public in Yenya sa results na. Ye say the IGP is doing well. What do you think? Police visibility and you. I'm not saying that.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm not saying that at all.
One kasa we are answering the questions.
But the point is, I say we say, oh yes, the IGP is working.
And then no, Ujin say crime has gone down.
Yeah.
Because there is a freeze on information. First, no, any media person can walk to any district commander, divisional commander, regional commander. Oh, masa. News be no publish it. And then and therefore you don't have the information. And so whether there was robbery last night, you don't have any idea.
Oh, okay.
Because we have really made sure that every information
is centralized
and does not flow to the people who should know, like citizens. And then say crime will go down. No. Anybody who tells you that crime has gone down drastically, it is just because we don't have the information on the crime. That is it. The only information we had about we say what the say, if they had any means of concealing, they would have done it. But they could not do it because
it was dangerous.
Yes, open. It was open and in the view of the entire public. And one will say even that one, who will say regional commander can who be. Who say the district commander can.
Or say if we headquarters nearby.
No, I'm saying that it happened we are in Accra region.
Yes.
So the Accra region is manned by the regional police commander, not the IGP.
Okay.
And there's a divisional commander at Adabraka, and there's a district commander at Adabraka. Years back now, within a short period, you will see policemen on the ground giving interviews to personnel. Say, also we are in secret. Nim say busy last year.
Last year, Nomaka said
same thing. See here, didn't because there's a freeze. But when somehow some people were able to capture it, CCTV camera or some things captured it, and anything out here, and I refuse to agree with you. Say crime has come down, except that the fact is that we are not being told anything about crime, and there's information has been frozen, and nobody is being given the right to speak about those matters. And I'm happy say, well, can say, the new visibility is not new.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Lassan who introduced visibility. It's not new at all. And therefore, Dampare is only carrying on what has been established. Maybe what we can say today is say we have more motorbikes. And no, I must agree as a person say we have more motorbikes.
Yeah.
Now, motorbikes provided by the state, by the government, by whatever. And so we can say that we have more motorbikes. But as to the quality of people we are training, it's also suspect. Because training now, a year, 9 months, 6 months, no, it do baby now 3 months. It do baby now it was just mass production we were doing. And then when we finished, we created a FPU basis and we are pushing them somewhere.
And I'm up for passing through 3 months.
People were not been doing the training at as some may country we go and find out. Me, I am coming from the river and I'm telling you what has happened. Me say, police for the minimum that police personnel were being trained until Dampare was 6 months. The time no, they were being trained less than 6 months, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 4 months. And those were the things that, and he was at the center of everything. Look, the problem with Dampare is that he micromanages everything. And I'm not saying this in secrecy or because
so as a state, we are on the time bomb. On the time bomb. As far as your security is concerned.
Well, I wouldn't talk about the entire security. You have asked me
I mean the home security per se, if I could.
Yeah, maybe internal security, we are pretending everything is fine. In my opinion, we are pretending that everything is fine. And I don't know why those in authority, national security, a minister, coordinator, and all the advisors to the president will watch this thing to be happening till this time. Because it will change once there is a change. It will change. I don't see how any other IGP will use the police service in this manner. I don't see it coming from anybody. It doesn't matter who comes to power, and it doesn't matter who becomes the IGP. I don't see this situation continue. For instance, when himself promotions are we don't know. Okay, I'm trying to say, we assistant commissioner, me assistant commissioner. I don't even know whether you have been promoted above me. That's what is happening. Formally, no. The police structure, they say, there must be a signal originator where all the date for promotion. Be all crowd, move my nipa me and samba be a date of promotion, but my different. But they say no, according to love letter, and say, Opa, no afro, you have been promoted. Now, and then transfer to this place. And to be a horse here, ube bisa say when a district commander or chinobe konna nipa na sisa. You don't even know who is a district commander. E bet my yempo say who regional commander no, who nim nipa na e dia brew. This e bia nipa na nkasa pa pechira say o me ne ma ba ha. A lot of things are going wrong in the service.
It's a change be or the buy administratively.
It is the media that is thinking they have seen a change. We have not seen a change. We have not seen a change. Police may say, what do you only police phone call Kasana who said there is no change. There is no change. Whatever we are retrogressing in a lot of ways. One yata diena yata isheno. Yes, ceremonial dress.
Yeah, ceremonial.
police, started from a background. No, anybody who knows drill will tell you, say, you can wear ceremonial and wear beret on it. Yes. There is even the military government almost share ceremonial, they wear a cap, not beret. They say, oh no, the pen or you. And I was starting and so on fan to baby. I feel as I say now the other two book we must now I think after a year or so. No? But these are some of the things that he has taken. At the last count, we can say the man has turned the police service upside down. And the Nipana or bab in future, no, I cry.
Oh, Jumaya
pa.
Police Montadi, Mana Motana, and I pam.
I can say, maybe tea my thought idea.
Okay.
And to me, can say, talk. But you see, in some administration like Mr. Kwesi Champ on time, in and free time, no, now you will not buy uniform. They were always providing. Look, my mama a typical example. Namfuri, Mr. Namfuri of late, of blessed memory, will see a police officer in town. Natadi and Yefe, no, Jina, no, Jina Trani came, no, Jina police headquarters, say, Mumman and Tadi, Mumman and 2 sets, 3 sets. That is policing. One will say, are you, do you get, I'm giving you a typical example. Mr. Champion by and not Tadi ne buyeso. At a point in time, not Tadi no ashorty. And it's all person look good. One casa obeko pebi ato idea so. Me, or more money my Juma, just me German. At a point in time, I had over 20 something uniforms because I was buying and sewing. There's nowhere met my shot idea for 1 month without repeating.
Yeah.
What would you make? So people who want to look neat. And he said, "Those who crumble tomatoes." Right now, I don't know what is happening.
Okay.
And to me, say at idea or what, and I sent idea. But under normal circumstances, policemen should not be buying their uniforms. That's the normal. It should not be. Yeah. But if you want to look neat, additional,
you have to buy them. It's the way forward. One, elections never. A man for it here. The ECOSO, administratively, the ECOSO Ghana Police Service. 2, what is the way out? Presidency, they are working. I mean, intel. Say, presidency near the they should know. Of which I agree with you 100% because the BBC say ECOSO they are. And obeying to me, including the president himself, or the Okutada appointing authority. What do we do?
Okay, a quick one. A few years ago, now your policy be now every week, once in a week, police personnel be abeko akosia aba depo ha na say training school be or regions no na say baby and as a regional headquarters and as a divisional headquarters akosia the idea of public order management. As much as possible, I will urge that thing is looked at again and reintroduced.
Okay.
Meaning say they are not doing it again. Especially during election. Election is about public order management. And demonstrations are about public order management. Those things have ceased. And I think that, and that is why you see policemen going and carrying people, carrying anybody around. If we had gone... if we had not stopped this training of public order management, and at that time, so they provided us with helmets and everything. And I'm talking about 2016, 2015, 2016. I'm just reliving my experiences. That thing is very important. If this IGP will not do it, at least somebody who will come in future should consider it.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, I will strongly advise. So in this election, I am not one of those who believe, say, the military should be left out completely from election because they are part of the election security task force. But the military should not find themselves at the polling station, at the collation centers. Under no circumstance should the military find themselves, especially knowing what happened at Techiman or some other place in 2020. Because there's a tendency, and I am saying that any military officer who finds himself at that place should be treated like a criminal.
Okay.
Because you have no business there to do there. Traditionally and till today, the only people who are supposed to be at the polling station are the police, the immigration officers, maybe fire officers or prisons officers. We use them. It should have been police. And then we must always have our badges. Badges of authority. Because we must also watch something there. That national SWAT, national security SWAT, they should also be careful. Said those people are not deployed because they are not part of the system.
Okay, you mean the national security? Okay.
National security SWAT is unconstitutional and should never be allowed anywhere near the system. Remember what happened during the it was the national security SWAT who went and did that. And remember at that time, the regional commander at the time, Mr. Mensah, George Mensah at the time.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point? And all of them came to deny up to today. We don't know who gave the orders or whatever. Or those who gave the orders, they have not been punished or sanctioned. What we are saying here is that is their nature and they must never be allowed to get through that place. Thirdly, these deployments of the military in only part of Volta region should cease. You see, in 2016, what we did was that we did not even we deployed policemen with special vehicles and UN berets and other things throughout every border, from western to north and to west to east. Today, we are seeing the military being deployed in only Volta region.
Okay.
That creates a wrong impression.
But what is a Volta region?
That is the information I have. If it is wrong, I stand to be corrected. If it is wrong, but what I know and what I've been reading.
I mean, say, who's a Volta, a borderline. The borderlines and the so many idea no. And normal military, including
So my point is, if the military has a plan to deploy on the borders, it should be across all the borders.
Okay.
We should not create a perception that we are deploying for some to achieve a particular purpose.
Okay.
Okay. So that is a very important point I'm making. And there is one other thing I want to say. I believe that in this election, military may have to deploy in Burkina Faso border because of the terrorist infiltration and other things. On that day, the police will be busy, may not. So definitely, that one is something. But political parties must be informed of some of these things. You see, suspicions can create certain perceptions.
And security arrangement.
Hello. As well, me can so that
okay.
I started by saying, we should not create a perception, we are deploying in only one region.
Okay.
Fine.
That's one. Yeah.
We should go round it so that we don't create an unnecessary perception. And nobody is saying we cannot tell them whether they should deploy or not to deploy. But I'm also saying, it will be good, at certain point, certain deployments, for instance, Boko, they must deploy there. Because anything can happen. It's a volatile area. What am I saying? But if they are deploying, it will be good that certain category of people may be aware. You see, when we talk about accountability, we are saying that much as certain security issues may be secretive, but there are some of them, it builds the confidence of the citizens in the structures if it's open. Otherwise, you wake up one day and you see security people all around you and you say, you see that they become hostile. They become hostile to the people. They become hostile to the military. And you don't know what may happen. What am I saying? So there are certain things. I'm not saying as a security person, I wouldn't say that, everything, no. Now I say catch it up, but there are certain things you better collaborate with people.
Okay.
Opinion leaders, chiefs and people, and let them understand why you are taking certain steps. Look, we are deploying here because of this likely infiltration. so that the people don't feel targeted. It's very important because perceptions, yeah, as I say, Mo Ibrahim, a perception. Perception drives a lot of actions.
Oh, share corruption perception in this.
Corruption perception, yes. And you're corrupt. Now say, country in Chirobi. Now say, who use scano. Okay, the salary ain't mean yes, way. Or you're corrupt. So perception is very, very important. We must try to deal with it. And one of the best ways to do it is to collaborate, is to give information. You may not give every information, but giving them information is sending Crophobia as to how many people. You don't need to tell them, say, you're the 1 battalion neighbor, and I said 2 battalions neighbor. But when you see police and soldiers around here, don't
panic.
Don't panic. That's it.
Na momrante no so esuban to say your public and your post for so post in the ocean na we na oba ba BGBB kakra na post ni adroba for omuni post for send mama no so to say quick one on that.
That is why we need
can't one me was ro can't one me wo for
no correct. These things have been there for many years. One of the best ways to deal with that issue is an enlightened citizenry. Citizen, or very enlightened. That is why, say, police knew Ushiano is license. When see, Jiwe. Me lecture about or can say, or do baby, no can say, police in friend, police in his own funny license, but no see, or see on fire women, no, the aba. No, see, or some can't back on you. Satisfy yourself with the first documents before you ask for the next one. A police no share no stray no jai. In other words, when they realize that you are enlightened, you are also dealt with in a different way.
Carefully, yeah.
And now we must also take steps to train and retrain our police.
Okay.
As we speak now, we don't have, apart from basic training, the CI has made provision for all kinds of training in the police service. But apart from basic training, let my culture say, police will be they don't have any other training. Until they become inspectors or something. Inspectors, no promote for 1 week, no much exams. That what they are going to do is exams. What we want to see is refresher courses, so that scenarios like this, I capture and for video, so police need a bribe. Now what be saying is saying way uma mi hunu way so and I say oh papa hu and I say oh macro hu how will you feel? Then that kind of scenario based learning will impact on their lives much more. Until on him say at that time who say bra wo kwa jiska no woni mo work no say mobile phone aba obi abeti metwa audio. Is that what you want your life to be reduced to? And West still sika okoji 5 cities and 10 cities. Is that because of that you are selling your integrity? So we need to educate ourselves, educate the public, and then that's the way to go. And then maybe some sanctions are also very important. Maybe our first ni oye na say yes yanina kasa wanya and I say it's too much. Then we can now sanction the person and then take him out or something.
Okay. Now, young police officers are joining the mainstream political radar. Who interest?
Me interest now. Since me fee police me 1 year ba. What is say me Marco rally bida?
Yeah.
Okay. What is say Marco tana be station aka say me support it. But of course, let me put it blankly here. Say omo mystery team
Oh, okay.
I don't wish them well.
Oh, okay.
MPP party now, my mystery team symbolized by a damning unity winning in crop war. Our Munina said, "Your more can you cry? Our must say me career." Only God has protected me to this period. No, I cannot wish them well.
Oh, okay.
That's the point I want to make.
You want to make?
I cannot wish them well. And I wish them. Said they will not even come to power. That's my wish for against them because they cannot mistreat me, and I'll be wishing them well.
Wishing them well.
That's the point. And then man kakra na me nsum nyame because I have to be frank with myself. Obi a wadi me saa boni we. Now who don't expect me say me wish she say they should win. I don't wish them well. And I cannot vote for them.
Okay.
And I cannot encourage anybody to vote for them.
Oh.
And they are maka.
Obe vote akwan.
Oh baby, I vote to accord there. And they
I'm sure my man ko din ma we an vote to afa.
Oh, well, I don't want to. Maybe them come myself. I don't.
I'm convincing you to vote for my party.
I will not wish them well at all.
Okay. I was saying yane ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo na nkane as at the time we call retirement na opposition there.
At the time na me okay. Now me fi UN mission aba.
Yeah.
Until now me you as a policeman as a director of transformation. Okay.
Okay, director of
transformation. Enu mo na me di 2 kwan.
Okay.
Ti dana mbedu ya no mo chi me.
Oh, okay. No. And now they call retirement.
And now mo twen ya ma me call retirement asa na mo di asem no wie ye.
Erade yankwa na enade ya tibi. Ewa ha. Eze for mo be free we security matters so nyeze mo be free we na. Security matters and they are not tension ya be say tension anyway. Where ya senator no be get interview and they just about biura. And I say when I say the advocate and no me cause police service mo in terms of what interview na. What they about biura. Yeah. And some ya papa ya can do.
Almost say my mention at here for near phone. Now Mark, I am happy. First of all, Doc, retired ACP. I'm sure I said before so we book the price number 2. Now measure some budget based to me as support my matter back one. Interestingly, you know, everything that ACP retired has said here today, it is something I have said about 80% of it, but people didn't believe. And I am happy say this is the first time me share. And so I am getting interested in the security matters and the investigative aspect of it. For me, the air course with the police administration, the most confused group of people is the presidency. The presidency is as confused as anything in my opinion. And all this has come about as a result of the sweet talker, Dr. Kufu Dampare, a very smooth talker. And so for COP, Alex Mensah retired. I think, sir, we have to apologize to him because some of us, we knew what we said about him during the alleged concorsant tip. His demeanor and his political aspect is what gave him away. And so for Yemu Bebrino, now we were against him. I was totally against him. Until I got intel and pictorial evidence of say no kure say ye konem peswa so say yen to abentiano car na call the number of the car, the vehicle picture, everything, those who went there to distribute those money, I got all those information. Right now the presidency can never say they are not aware of what is happening. The only problem here is that Dr. Kufu Dampare has been able to sweet talk the presidency into especially with this last 2 years. Is it not strange? Say, and now today. There was regional commanders meeting concerning election security. The deputy IGP, I am told, confidently say he was not invited. When Goodluck Jonathan came to town, I have said those things here several times. The deputy IG in charge of operation was never invited. Anything that is happening within the police administration, the deputy IGP has been sidelined. But see, everybody is mentioning the fact that Owura Kufu Dampare has turned the police service upside down, just like you said. Me, I know of journalists, security personnel, about 3 FPID, Eddie Omudinechi. Mark, I can provide you the name of that person. Omudinechi, I hear security. I kept 25 days near Kotuaba. Me who any simulation. Me who any training be a air course with my confidence about yenyemu. 25 days to election. Time and I'm acting general secretary for the Convention People's Party. By this time, the police administration would have engaged all the political leaders. Omo assure yen, say they will ensure that they will maintain security and ensure the protection of the country and the citizens. Nothing of that sort. I stand to be corrected. Maybe they have met the various political leaders because today I don't have a party. But those days, we would have them come to us, our various offices, to assure us of their preparedness to take control of the electioneering processes. Under Dr. Kufu Dampare, I am not seeing anything. Information micromanagement and suppression. It is happening. And crime rate, as we speak, is high. But we are not getting the report. Like Doc said, I have said it in this studio. What happened at Adabraka? Had it not been the fact that people were filming live, Facebooking live, and they're reporting live, we could never have heard anything about it. As we speak, 2 weeks on, the sacks of monies. And Doc, you have been in the police system. The police administration, the crime department, if a robbery takes place in Adabraka or Alaju, the nature of the robbery, the police crime combatant, they know the group. They know it. So I came here to say, sit here to say, we didn't need pictures of Baby Aka. The thing happened at your friends Adabraka. And then you are giving us pictures of Ashaiman. That would have been a critical call within that very moment. Said the police administration and as a police command, Adabraka and its environment, they would have cordoned the peripherals of Adabraka to ensure, say, probably the car would not even get out of Adabraka. But what did we see? They gave us pictures. This is not what we need. They know the group.
They are making the public aware.
Mark, it is the citizens who made the public aware, not the police. It is the citizens. And
but where ACP were hey, information be or say no. But you say I'm saying police for managing.
We have some
because say Ayana mo be because say in somebody be or cry your car or more technical a distracted they mean you so the normal
classified and declassified.
Say a distracted more mode of investigations. It is normally be
we have classified information. But even that one, you didn't say need to know But the fact remains that when it comes to chasing armed robbers and criminals, the more information you receive, the better you are able to, and the more information you give out. Maybe the police must give us description of the cars and make sure that they are the first people to even post the things and say that we are looking for this vehicle is heading towards this place. All those information must come out. And that the next barrier should those things happen. Okay, so the more information you are willing to give out, of course, not to the detriment of national security or anything, no, the better it is for you to manage the information. So you cannot be massaging information and then massaging your crime statistics and be telling us that crime is low.
Okay.
Mark,
so
after those days, Obeti say, I didn't see, now the regional commander, I relay information, media house, also media air report to say, oh, yes, you will be more Bobby to your hand, you will be scour. Now, car call this way.
Yes.
Then people will be aware on their way. Those who are listening to radio, etc., they will be on the lookout. Those things are not happening. And before Dampare. Now, you, the media houses, you were interviewing regional commanders. COP, what's the name? This man, something Ofori. Or Kwesifori.
Yes.
Every time Kwesifori was on the phone with media, then my friend, Tactical Retreat, I always forget his name.
Oh, Sefasata.
Every regional commander at the time, if you are the regional commander of Kumasi, you will be giving the radio stations there. Now they are all quiet. They are all mute. Nobody can talk.
By now, police personnel must be coming here to
to be talking. That young
25 days to
25 days election.
They should deploy them to the various stations to educate us, because without the citizen, there's no policing.
It is okay. Dr. George Akufo-Dampare on managing general elections as being the IGP.
Yes.
By Yenya litmus test, Kumau any ascend not. And no, yet me find anyway.
You can't use that one. the strategy that he's using for Kumewu and Asinov cannot be used for the national election.
Okay.
It is easier, in fact, much easier to manage a by-election because it's one constituency. And then his strategy is to make sure that half of the police personnel go there and stay there so that you can't have a briefing space.
Okay.
Can you use the same strategy for national
General
elections?
elections?
Where in some cases, even getting police personnel to man polling station is difficult because of the numbers.
Yeah.
What you say? So in the past,
that security
yes,
agency,
other security agency.
the fire service.
So you cannot use the same approach. So he hasn't gotten that experience.
Okay. All right. And so, yeah.
conclude by saying, what they should transfers are horror air cost. Under this current situation, under normal circumstances, what I have learned is that elections, especially those who have registered as special voters, you don't arbitrarily transfer them when they have registered within a particular area to vote. Now, Sankrofon, for some reasons, without any explanation, what transfer more? How do they vote? But you see, the insecurity around Owura Akufo-Addo is that the one they have been mentioning, if that man, I am told, say, he is not lobbying for your opposition. That is it? They say he's not that's the name. According to sources,
Deputy IGP.
Yes, this man has served under about 2 or 3 IGPs. He has served them well, right? So anything he does under operation, the credit will come to you. So why would you want to? Relegate him to the background? The only problem I am being told is that the man is so experienced when it comes to operations. So Owura Akufo-Addo feels threatened. Me, the very first time I worked with Owura Akufo-Addo, when I was acting general secretary for the CPP, during our Congress 2011, his professionalism is what endeared me to him. And then later on, I came to realize that there's some connection with regards to some extended family, family friends. You understand? So me, I have been for him. But I didn't no men can say yet. Me better can say police administration is here to send people. As soon as but I say no a peche. What is happening? The promotion that we are talking about. Obi akodi 2 years with UK. Or by you know what as chief superintendent no call you. So
7 years.
Then what by you know what promoting within the same year above his.
Okay, you are talking about a different person.
You see, I have the information. I have mentioned the name here before. You don't do that. Favoritism has gotten into his head.
There are people who are commissioners now. At the time that at the time I know chief superintendent, no, now Crawford is ACPs. Now these people have remained ACPs. Nipa na commissioner. Can you imagine this kind of thing? And then, we are not taking that away from them. They can do their political, but promote that person also to DCOPA. We manage promotion. We don't care. We don't care whom you give your commissioners or other things to. Promote the person to DC. For instance, I mean my own example. Once you are acquitted by a court, it means that your record is clean.
Yeah.
It means you have not done anything wrong. So it
means
that. So if my colleagues were promoted at the time when I was still facing trial, once I'm acquitted, I should take the promotion. Matura Koma Police Council, I'm not responding to it. They will not even respond to it. I'm saying that the greatest problem with the police service now is the police council, the current police council. I don't see what they are doing.
Okay. How you need 100 points now? You made the friend the torchlight. Therefore, mentimia mia homana mamo movanchame sementimia be nan komono. Very comprehensive and extensive, and for that matter. Now, where your book? Yeah, me where your friend is saying. It's a book na watch on the moon sem was it mo better 1 year to one mama. Taliban pen.
Until no.
Now yes,
I say we need the man.
Media no.
That's that.
And this is the book. Benjamin K. Agojo from prosecution.
From persecution.
Hey, okay. Wait a minute, from persecution to freedom. Reflections on my journey through the justice system in Ghana. Book idia me kokai papa. Hey. From persecution to freedom. Reflections on my journey through the justice system in Ghana. It was a book in your mom on Facebook and you cram 500 pages. Yeah, kokai ya no ma ya kenkan dia. Enya ne say ne dia na ya da ho say ya because we can be na da ka anymore. Every leisure be we dey ayi so we dey make me 7 days a week.
That's all the price need to join.
But I say cost next.
Generally, me turn 300 Ghana cedis.
Oh, 300 cedis. So okay. Now, so be person or to be a. Obviously, then for contact persons be to join.
Me that two phone so.
Oh, okay. All right. Therefore, Dr. Benjamin Agojo, ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. The book, no, so who pay be at through number way 0542. Now, some of them are just 2% of what they are watching on the book for what that he has published. The number is 0542 188 614 0542 188 614. So we pay a year from persecution to freedom. Reflection of my journey through the justice system in Ghana. For number no 0542 188 614. Sabeka be no with your womb. Yes, you're back in kind near the idea. Now your questions be at now you be sir. Okay. NCP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo. And then you remember that's so kind.
So many aje pass o frame me ba. Na me wura sa.
E hani say no.
Me wura hada.
It's na bisa say na mo mo tema wa na de we na.
I mean say Peace FM ni.
Yeah, yes, your boy, yes, your boy, you ha. What would you
for the opportunity.
Also, yeah, that's a part. But brother, you be doing come on. From now, maybe why yes, you had your home. I drink
especially on this election security.
Yes. Yeah, very important. Very important. Okay, it's here that's all about Kayo.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure.
Bye.
Yow. Also, but I say me do me come on. I'm in flow now. I'm at one. Oh no, can't come on. Me do come on. I'm say come in. I'm ready. Yeah, that's say you go for shop. I was saying, Hannah, me do me do say me do the McJerry say you me do the Torchlight. DJ Bosco, ever be take you over. O chena enya me pa. Me do be share our morning show no so Ghana mutie 5:30. Na me no ehia e je say bibia ekoye na ye di o manga na mu nkomo na nkomo amedi bi di beba o chena no pa ye be di nkomo pa e je say bibia etumi akoso kama abatu ehwe ni ye no wa mo bi andada o na wo mo bi dada o akwaye de ente say wo ya waso be ehye ete your 25 days wo de an say wo be bo anho na wo bo anho a e je say bibia akoye the amount and it's not the piano. Maybe anyway, I'm the amount. Others, it's a boy. Aqua to aba. Let me be a coso. Bido be a say, Yame and yeah, call at the baby.
Moya, Monche, you.